Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update. Tuesday, May 7th, 1 a.m. Mountain Time 2019. You're looking at Cinnabung, erupting just moments ago. We have the footage thanks to Volcano YT. Give him a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And tell him Diamond sent you. It's boom time, kids. Aurora farmer reflects on Sunday evening hailstorm. And let's reflect with him.
Including one Aurora farmer surprised when it came to how much hail fell in certain areas.
NTV's Valerie Juarez reports.
We had pea-size to quarter-size.
A hailstorm like no other.
I called my wife. She said that there was a little bit of a, looks like a funnel cloud above us. And so I told her that she needed to come home quick. So she came home, and by the time she got home, the wind had changed from the south to the north, and it was blowing, I wish I knew how fast it was, but it was well above 50, and it was blowing really hard. And by the time we got inside, got our dogs inside, it started just to downpour, and then not shortly after that, hail started coming down.
Aurora farmer Mitch Oswald saying he's thankful hail didn't cause too much damage in the area.
We lost just a tail on a pivot. I know the farther north you went, there was more guys that lost it. Same thing. And the farther south you went, we know a guy who lost a couple full pivots and tails and a building and stuff like that.
But Oswald said he was mostly worried about his sister, who was in the midst of the severe weather in Lincoln.
She actually sent me a video last night from her neighbor's security camera.
Sister, who was in the midst of the severe weather in Lincoln.
She actually sent me a video last night from her neighbor's security camera. And it was blowing super hard from the south, and it actually snapped one of their neighbor's flagpoles in half. You can kind of see in the background, a lot of the trees are whipping pretty hard from the south to the north. And in the video, the wind dies down for a split second. All of a sudden, it switches and comes back from the north, just with a vengeance. And you see trash cans rolling down the street and stuff. Saw pictures from her this morning. People's fences were destroyed.
Sunday's inclement weather taking this farmer to his years growing up.
Just from past experiences, we've been through 2 tornadoes through here in my lifetime that I've got to witness. So just kind of reflecting back on those.
The power and the fury of nature. Amazing. It's absolutely amazing footage coming out from Iowa. Good times. Kansas City storm dumps hail, heavy rain, at least one tornado reported on Super Doppler. This was earlier today. Some reporting from this guy.
We're looking at an area that's just northeast of the Dodge City area, so we're talking about southwest Kansas, not close to Hutchinson, not close to Wichita, but this is a dangerous storm because it's our first confirmed tornado of the day, and it's happening at night, and nighttime tornadoes are just a beast because you really can't see what's going on. We can't really show you a lot of pictures. We do have our very own Storm Team 12 storm chaser, Mikey Gribble, in this area. He saw the tornado. He said it lasted about 3 or 4 minutes. We think it has lifted. If we have Mikey on the phone, we'd love to go back to him to find out exactly what he's seeing. So, Mikey, I understand you're still on this tornado-warned storm here northeast of Lewis. Give us a better idea of where you are and exactly what you're seeing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mikey. Go ahead.
Great.
Okay, some pretty difficult.
Go ahead, Mikey. We can hear you.
In this particular vicinity. Mikey, we still have you on the phone. Go ahead and
Go ahead, Mikey.
start over, if you will. Go ahead and start over, if you will. Okay, wouldn't you know? You know, it's a bad cell coverage area for right now. But again, he did see the tornado. It was about 5 miles.
Yeah,
to the
sure he
northeast of
did.
the Lewis area now.
Yeah, we can believe that. Kansas City storm dumps hail, heavy rain, at least one tornado, according to Mikey. Storm Team 12 has issued a weather day alert with severe thunderstorms across the state Monday evening. You can follow updates of the storm fired up in advance below. Monday night's wrap up. Let's talk about it. By Tuesday morning, another round of severe weather will wrap up. But it's just the beginning of what's shaping up to be an active first half of the week. It's just beginning, kids. Another wave of some heavy storms. Rain will be coming in Tuesday evening from the southwest into central Kansas. We could see baseball-sized hail. There was hail 2 to 3 inches all over the state. Let me tell you, Tuesday evening, Severe weather possible, and the threat of severe weather should continue on Wednesday with more storms developing in central and south central Kansas. Heavy rains, hail, strong winds, and gusts will be threats to watch for, as well as trash blowing up and then back down the street as we watched. What a treat. Hey, have you heard hail hits North Denver? Shh. As stormy weather rolls east, look at these pictures. That is not snow, that's hail. Holy hail falls in Westminster on Monday, May 6, 2019. That's today, kids, and that could be just what we're looking for tonight's first boom. Or this morning, or wherever you're coming from, there's the boom in your face, because it's boom time. Check out that hail. Hail fell in North Metro area in Westminster and Broomfield, Colorado. On Monday, it also hit areas on the Eastern Plains, including Limon. And I'm vaping Limon right now. No dabs for me, just vapes. There were no immediate damages reported, except hearts were broken. Maybe a little hail in Broomfield. Hashtag Jen Walton. Heads up. Yeah, we clicked on it. It's not playing. In Denver on Monday, the high temperature topped 70 degrees. And the hail was glorious. 217 views, that's it. Just after 2 p.m., the storm clouds rolled in the Front Range, and the National Weather Service said pea-sized hail fell in some areas, including the Interstate 25 and E470 exchange north of Denver. Holy! We don't even know where that's coming from. Where's it coming? Oh my God, it's Chinese people. We're doomed. Glad we figured that out. Look at that. There's a quarter. And that looks like hail. Holy macaroni. Up to 15 inches of snow forecast for Colorado in a May storm. Yeah, summer is upon us. And the snow continues to fall. Forecasting website Powder Chasers has predicted up to 15 inches of fresh snow falling in Colorado this week. Thank you, Spencer McKay. Hey, we're going to get to the GFS model in a minute with their low estimates at 9, according to the reports. Their low estimates were at 9, according to the reports. Light snow will fall into central and northern mountains on Wednesday, with the storm continuing into Thursday, which will be your Thursday, and Friday, which will be your Shy Day, and Saturday, we all know is Saturday in Colorado. The peak snowfall is expected to occur Wednesday night through Thursday, which is going to be amazing. Especially if you're below 8,000, where it'll be falling as rain. And if you have a farm, it'll be watering your seeds and weathering your souls. Final snow survey measures a cold and dense snowpack up in the Sierras. The Department of Water Resources conducted the 5th and final Phillips Station snow survey of 2019. This is the second time we're reporting on it and the first time you've ever heard it with actual audio. Yes, it's true. The survey measured 47 inches of snow depth with a total water equivalent of 27.5 inches, which means that that's a fucking glacier. Half of that snowpack is water, which is 188% above average for that location, which means it's 180% above the limited amount Oroville Dam could take at only 13 feet left until it overtops its banks. Did I say it was 13 feet left? We're going to be watching this closely as 188% of snowpack remains above the dam. Damn it. I hate that. 2019 hurricane season expected to be slightly above average, but less active than last year. What does that mean? It's anybody's guess. A total of 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes are expected this season. This is slightly above the 30-year average of 12 named storms. 6 hurricanes and 3 major hurricanes. The forecast was released Monday by the weather company, an IBM business that has totally capitalized on your ass. Yeah, they own you. They're the fear porn mongers. GFS models showing heavy snow west of the divide in the middle of May. And that's not all. We're taking a tippy touch here at the end of May, 3rd week of May up in Maine. It's insane. Alberta's going to be picking it up. But the most snow is coming in the next 5 days. Look at that. Boom! Showing 4 to 6 feet in some areas of the southern mountains. Heavy snow in the Sierras, southern Sierras, not near Oroville, but we could see rain developing later in the week. We'll get to that. Multi-day severe weather and heavy rain events expected over the plains through midweek. Kansas! Oh, and misery It's not a good day for you. Multi-day severe weather. In fact, it's not a multi-day good day for you either. A multi-day severe weather and heavy rain threat is forecast across much of the central and southern plains into the Mississippi Valley through the midweek before possibly reaching the Ohio Valley by Thursday. Can you imagine that? It's actually going to move east. The severe thunderstorm will be capable of producing large hail, damaging winds, tornadoes, loss of life, while heavy rain may be excessive at times and produce both flash flooding and river flooding. The majority of people that will be affected live in mobile homes. Whew. It's just a fact. If you're nearby Tucson or east of there, holy, southern New Mexico, you're blowing around town. Severe weather warnings and threats in maroon. Click on your county if you live there to get updates from the Weather Ready Nation map, which we will leave you links below. Let's check out Europe. Holy, all the people, all the balmy people in UK. Look at the snow through Thursday in the UK. Hey, hey, hey. Heavy snow in the Alps. And if you live in, oh my gosh, Finland or Norway, it's not going your way. The entire continents are going to be covered in snow by the end of May. Yeah. North of the 58th parallel, snow. Einrich Butenhuis, you bit the big one on that one. You're going to get off scot-free, but northern UK totally fluxed in this one, showing up at least 16 to 20 centimeters in some regions in the higher altitudes here. The UK, Finland, and Norway totally fluxed. Holy look at the Norway numbers. Yes, it's true. Norway will be pummeled as May progresses. Holy Even some areas in central Italy picking up snow. Santa's coming in May. Ho, ho, ho. Magnitude 7.2 earthquake jolts Papua New Guinea. Canberra, Australia, magnitude 7.2 earthquake has rattled the Pacific island nation of Papua New Guinea. The quake hit around 7:20 a.m. Tuesday, about 33 kilometers, 21 miles southeast of Bulo, on the country's eastern side. It struck at a depth of 127 kilometers, U.S. Geologic Survey said. It wasn't immediately clear if there was any major damage. However, the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said slip another shrimp on the barbie, and there's no tsunami threat because of the deep depth of the quake. Now, Christopher Lamb was in Leh, about 100 kilometers north of Bululo, and said the rumble was audible. That means he heard it with his ear. Yes, no fear. He's no queer. He has excellent auditory perception. It was big, thick, and hard, he said. You can hear it right in my ear. You got stuff thrown around the house and the power is now cut off, he tweeted. And we retreated. Alongside the video showing his home rattling. And that is not even there. Holy shit. There's no video. They lied to us. They said there was rattling of the home next to the video. Seismic update, no quakes of no. Boom! 7.2, Papua New Guinea. Whew. And that's the skinny, already downgraded to 7.1 by the USGS downgrade service. No tsunami threat. Moderate uptick on the Ring of Fire. Let's break it down. Talking about space weather coming up. Stick with us. 14 minutes, 17 seconds in. A tourist wanted a better look at the active volcano in Kilauea, and he fell in. What an idiot. Holy A man survived a 70-foot fall into one of the most active volcanoes on Earth Wednesday after he climbed over the metal guardrail at Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. This prick, taking a selfie, authorities said, fell 70 feet, not to his death. The man identified Army officials on Friday as 32-year-old douchebag, an enlisted soldier and idiot, was trying to get a better look at the cliff edge when he lost his footing. He fell 70 feet into the caldera of Kilauea, a destructive volcano whose months-long eruption last year spewed ash, gas, and lava into the air, destroying an estimated 700 homes and pissing off millions. Park officials said Thursday that the man was seriously injured. Well, I bet he fell 70 feet, but on Friday he was in stable condition, according to an Army spokesman. He will be dishonorably discharged as a sheep. However, the authorities gave no further details. LeakCon 2019 fast approaches. Days away. I haven't even finished the program. Man falls into Kilauea volcano caldera. A visitor at Hawaii Volcanoes National Park climbed past the metal railing, and we just reported on this. But we got video, and it's dab worthy, and we're deep in, and I need a drink. That's delicious. Is that lemon? Holy whew. That's fantastic.
The reports that we have so far is that a gentleman, part of a group, stepped over the safety railing and slipped literally off the edge into the crater and fell somewhere between 40 and 60 feet onto a narrow ledge where he remained.
Wait a minute. The lamestream media is reporting on a 70-foot fall. Let's get back to the facts and see what this guy who was there just said. What the? I'd love to catch him in a lie.
Ledge where he remained until National Park Service and Hawaii Fire Department somewhere between 40 and 60 feet onto a narrow and fell somewhere between 40 and 60 feet onto a narrow ledge where he remained until National Park Service and Hawaii Fire Department personnel rappelled down and were able to get a Stoke stretcher.
You're busted. You guys are fucking frauds. You guys can all go suck it. You know why? Let's just reopen that for humanity. Thank you for telling us the truth, firefighter Ken Maxwell or whatever your name is. We'll get there. This is the New York Times. Now, according to the emergency personnel on the ground, it was barely 40 to 60 feet. And the opening sentence says, a man survived a 70-foot fall. That's almost twice as high as it actually was, especially if it was near the 40-foot end. All I want to point out is that the New York Times is full of shit. Not only that, Liam Stack is a fraud. He's probably one of the top reporters in the industry. Hey, Liam, my email is Oppenheimer Ranch at Gmail. You're not a reporter. You're an ass tart. You're a fearmonger, and you can suck it, Liam Stack. Stack it up, you piece of shit. The actual audio was 40 to 60 feet, and you have the balls to write 70. Yeah, let's just double it almost, and then lie. Because I'm a reporter for the New York Times, and my name is Liam Stack. Fraud. Proven tonight. Worldwide Volcano News Update. Karaminch Volcano possible eruption. 8,000 feet. Insignificant Shivalush Agong Sabung. Sakurajima Planchon Petero Sabankaya and more. Sinabung. We watched it on the opening. 15,000 feet puff. Discreet puff puff. Pass. Eruption. Shivalush to 13,000 feet. Insignificant. Continuous ash at Sabankaya. Say it ain't so Yamaya. Sakurajima. Boom! It's been doing it for years, kids. Agong. Discrete volcanic ash. Maybe an uptick. We're going to be watching it closely. We're waiting for the first VEI-5 in decades to puff off. You want to puff off the permafrost mystery? This is not even part of our expose. What is space weather. Let's check out the active sun as AR 2740 faces our face. It's facing our face, and that means it's about to face us. Now here we're down in the delta region of this sunspot. We're going to break it down for you. You have no idea what I'm talking about. You can see the plasma flaring emanating from this point. And the X-ray flux emanating from the whole positive, negative array here on the western flank, which is really the eastern side, the way you think of it on Earth, but it's reversed on the sun. Holy! Diamond's really confusing me. Here, eastern flank, northeast. Here's the northwest. Isn't that opposite of what you know? Yeah. This is a different picture, kids. It's upside down and inside out. But this is turning towards the Earth, and it's about to hit us. AR 2740 is not a shorty. It's looking quite sporty, almost like a Lambo. Now, according to Ben Davidson, today, solar flares are increasing in power, and the sunspots are poised to face Earth all week long. I embellished a little bit. With an intensified solar wind stream due midweek as well. Oh, holy hell, why not? You can see we hit C9.9, which is almost M1 range, which would be the first M flare since 2017, October. That's quite a bit of time. And we've seen a downtick in activity into the upper B range as this spot faces Earth, which is indicative of the solar minimum sun. As major flare activity faces the Earth, the spot gets shut off. Now, this has been happening since 2011. But at some point, the spot will not shut off. And it will be picking up what we're putting down, and it will shoot a flare directly at us. And it will probably be a repeat of the 1989 event up in Canada, which fried the grid in that region. Only this will fry the grid in whatever region that plasma discharge hits us at that time. It could be in 7 days, and it could hit us in 9 days. It's anyone's guess. But AR 2740 is looking quite sporty, especially here on SDO. Ho ho. We can look at the live data right now, and I'm going to also show you some correlations between the earthquake that just occurred and your future. So you can see as this spot turns towards Earth over the last 18 hours, it is shutting down. But there is still a 10% probability of M flare or higher, and we're going to get to that. So stick with us, kids. If we check out the solar wind and we correlate it to the earthquake that just happened. So what I'm going to go over here and bring up that earthquake data for you. 23 minutes, 12 seconds in. And you can see the 7.2 kicked off. Work with me. At 2119 UTC. That's universal UTC time. 2100 hours, 19. That's about 2130. 21 and a half. No tsunami. And this is the 24-hour mark. So we come over to 21 and a half, and you can see this major perturbation in the density. Here, down here in the plasma speed as well, and here in the temperature. So as the temperature began to spike, the speed spiked. The same time the density spiked, and the phi angle was shifted towards 180, and boom! 7.2. It is boom time. And we just explained it using the Discover Solar Wind chart. And here is 2740. Who's looking quite sporty. So the mixing has become less severe as the negative moves above positive and almost is joining north of the spot. We do have some blue region here, so we have polarity mixing straight across, and it is still at beta delta DHO, and now C flare potential at 70%, M flare at 10%, X flare at 1%. The magnetogram showing low intensity A1A 171 angstrom showing moderate activity. So this spot is shutting down as it faces Earth, which is good news. But it's not the only spot in question. We have 2741 just coming over the eastern limb, equatorial, and it looks pretty separate here. There looks like very limited mixing, but we're going to need a day or two before we get a better visual. Currently listed as alpha HSX, 5% C flare, 1% M, 1% X. And this is the first time that two large active spots are now moving across the disk at the deep solar minimum, cycle 24. It may be the interaction of two spots that allows one of these spots to discharge while it faces the Earth. So for the next 7 to 10 days, we're going to have two spots in the kill zone here. And for the next 7 to 14 days, we're going to have them in the magnetic danger zone here where grid failure can happen. Most solar flares that affect Earth are from midpoint over here to the eastern limb. And that happens starting in 7 days when 2740 gets to about this position. We're going to be watching it closely. Fake asteroid hurtling at New York City triggers terrifying results in NASA's simulation. There it is. It's amazing. This wasn't actually the picture of the simulation, but it's a picture that they used to scare this out of you. First of all, an asteroid this size would never make it this close to the planet. It would be blown apart before it even hit us because of plasma discharge and the electrical potential between these two objects, causing a massive arc, breaking this apart in hundreds of pieces, which would then hit us. A large, gigantic piece would never hit us unless it had broken apart into several other large, gigantic pieces. Now, this information is based on science and logic, which apparently had little to do with NASA's simulation of a fictional scenario. New York City was hit with a single asteroid packing 1,000 times the destruction of a nuclear bomb dropped on Hiroshima. And this is to coddle the people like Graham Hancock and others that have been searching for a giant comet to hit our planet years ago, back around 12,000 years ago during the Younger Dryas event. The only problem is that there is none. There are multiple objects that have hit, yes, and we uncover them every year. We now have multiple objects hitting Greenland at that time. We have multiple objects hitting North America at that time. We have the entire Carolina Bay complex of over 15,000 potential impact objects hitting at that time. That makes it over 20,000 impacts on Earth around 12,000 years ago. 20,000 impacts around 12,000 years ago is not this big ball. That is a science fiction novel perpetuated by USA Today and the mainstream, including NASA, simulating the fictional scenario of a giant ball hitting Earth, which is impossible because of electrical discharge between celestial bodies in close proximity, as has been proven in a lab and hypothetically using esoteric texts and the electric universe model. Now, the exercise, which was part of the National Near-Earth Object Preparedness Strategy and Action Plan, was published by the White House, played out at the 2019 Planetary Defense Conference in College Park, Maryland. And it was a complete fairy tale. Now, had they spent an extra few months and listened to all points of view and come up with the most logical explanation of what could actually occur, the picture would be much different than a gigantic 30-mile wide rock actually making it to the surface and splashing down. Because that can never happen. In fact, every object a kilometer in size or in that region or bigger has had a green plasma discharge from the surface of the Earth to the object, exploding and in fact vaporizing it before your very lives. And we're talking about most of the activity that has happened up in Siberia, the Chelyabinsk object, Tunguska, and many others we've never witnessed that have happened while we've been alive. So NASA is continuing to perpetrate the fraud. And Graham Hancock and Brian Forster are looking for the comet. that will never come unless it comes in multiple thousands of pieces obliterated due to plasma discharge as it approaches. Newfound mini T-Rex was a tiny terror at just 3 feet tall. Coming out today, a previously unknown T-Rex prey about 92 million years ago, but unlike its relative, the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex, this newfound dinosaur was a pipsqueak, its body a tad longer than a T-Rex skull. The small but fierce mini Rex was a lightweight compared with the dinosaur king, now dubbed Suski Tyrannosaurus Hazara. The Tyrannosaur would have tipped the scales at no more than 90 pounds, which is just about the weight of a supermodel, which they would have eaten immediately. In contrast, T-Rex weighing 18,000 pounds, well, they would have just eaten everyone. Everybody. Denver is set to vote on decriminalizing hallucinogenic psilocybin mushrooms. That's good news. Initiative 301, which is on tomorrow's ballot, which is today, right now, would not make psilocybin mushrooms fully legal in Denver. What the fuck does that mean? They're only partially legal, only when you're tripping balls, I guess. Oh, is that me? Amid opioid epidemic, report finds more doctors stealing prescriptions. Now these guys must be crackheads. Doctors are stealing more prescriptions. My life dramatically changed because I am a 40-year-old woman with a 1-year-old daughter who is so fatigued I can't work. I'm not even going to read this. Don't take the opioids. There are other ways you can deal with pain management, including cannabis. Opioids were developed to kill you, to get you addicted. Just like the CIA took over the poppy fields in Afghanistan decades ago and we retook them over recently, it's for multinational corporations. Now, cannabis and psilocybin and DMT and other natural medicines have been used for millennia for psychic and spiritual experiences. Now, drug paraphernalia that's 1,000 years old still contains traces of cocaine and DMT. Look at these things. In a Bolivian rock shelter used 1,000 years ago for religious rituals, archaeologists found a collection of drug paraphernalia that still contains traces of psychoactive plants. And the carvings themselves prove that crack is whack. However, other natural plant medicines are not. The items include a 28 centimeter long leather bag, a pair of wooden snuffing tablets, a snuffing tube, a pair of llama bone spatulas, a textile headband, fragments of dried plant stems, a pouch made from 3 foam fox snouts stitched together. The snuffing tube and tablets feature ornate carvings of human-like figures. Bonding, look at that. That's amazing. That's like my Kundalini I'm growing for the LeakCon. Look at that. That's amazing. Holy shit. I love that shit. Sunscreen enters the bloodstream after just 1 day of use. Now, we've been rubbing this shit on our bodies for decades. Almost half of a century. Are you a little concerned that this is just coming out? It's cutting news. We can make it to Mars, but we just tested the sunscreen. It took just 1 day of use for several common sunscreen ingredients to enter the bloodstream at levels high enough to trigger a government safety investigation. For the first time ever, the government is actually investigating the safety of poison that you rub on your skin. Why they're not investigating the safety of the poison that you eat that's called food is beyond me. But that's because they are paid off by the revolving door of Monsanto and the FDA. where CEO becomes head of the FDA, and so on and so forth. Time immemorial. Now, this new study, published Monday in the medical journal JAMA, also found that the blood concentrations of 3 ingredients continue to rise as daily use continued. That means your 7-day Caribbean cruise where you lather on the banana boat is actually killing you. Avobenzone, oxybenzone, ecamsulate, and octicrylene are part of the dozen of the FDA recently said need to be researched by manufacturers. Now, here's the thing. According to the FDA, the manufacturers are the one that research the safety of the chemicals they're using, which is why Monsanto says that GMOs are safe, because they paid off the scientists to say, hey, they're safe. Now, if we really lived in a free society, a democratic society, and the FDA was there to protect us, the FDA would employ independent analysis, third-party scientists, to investigate the efficacy of these products, including genetically modified products and sunscreen that within just 24 hours reaches your bloodstream and probably makes you gay. Nothing wrong with gay people. But if it was caused by sunscreen, wouldn't you be pissed? Studies need to be performed to evaluate this finding and determine whether there are true medical implications to absorption of certain chemicals that have never been studied. Are they f***ing for real? You know what the Chicago Tribune says? If we get big rains, we're in trouble. The Mississippi River is receding, but flood danger lingers. Yeah, no shit. It's going to linger into July, for all sake we know. The swollen Mississippi River and its tributaries are recording many flood-ravaged communities on Monday, but concerns remain high because of the threat of heavy rain. Watch this. We're back. I don't have any light, so maybe I'll just turn the light on. Take a look at here. Now, what we can do here over at the map is come to precipitation and moisture, and let's check out the total accumulated precipitation for the contiguous U.S. And we can just roll it through. You can see the major threat to the upper Mississippi Valley here. 5+ inches are going to continue. And look south. We're looking for a major pulse in the southern region here from Monday, May 13th through Saturday, May 18th, which means flooding in New Orleans, Louisiana at the end of May is inevitable. And will the Quad Cities continue to flood, where they're going to continue to get 4 or 5 inches worth of rain over the coming days? And this may change. Look at that little 6-inch nugget near Orville. Oh my goodness. Anything can happen at any time. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Flood danger lingers. 1 million animals and plant species are at risk of extinction, according to fearmongers. The UN is the major globalist fearmonger on the planet. They want you to comply. They want you to be scared. They want you to think it's over. And then you have to do exactly what they say. But I can tell you, for all of geologic history, for the last 500 million years, every million years, the majority of species are taxed in catastrophic events that lead to extinctions. Every million years. Every 10 million, major extinction. Every 50 million, mass extinction. The last mass extinction was just 11,500 years ago. 11,500 years ago. And we may still be living it. Because if we extinct all species today, in geologic history, the last 12,000 years would be an instant. And the mass extinction would occur, and it would be just called the Holocene epic extinction. 11,000 years ago. And today would be delineated as a single spike of extinction. So the same time we go extinct in 2046 is the same time saber-tooth goes extinct 11,000 years ago. See how that blends together geologically? And the fact that 1 million species are at risk out of 8 million plants and animals on Earth is a lie. We barely know even a portion of the species on Earth. So there's probably 50 million species on Earth, and 1 million species could be extinct. That's 0.5%, maybe. Let's say it's 2%. I'm a geologist, and there are times in geologic history when 60% of all species are gone in a day. That means we don't have to worry until we get to 5 million species gone in a day. And guess what? We make it past that threshold. And 11,500 years later, we are right here where we are today. There is nothing to fear except fear itself. And the mainstream media is the #1 perpetrator of fear in your ear. And Beto O'Rourke is a perpetrator of fraud. He went to an Iowa town impacted by flooding, severe storms, severe winter, record cold and snow, and said that the flooding is related to climate change. Wow, thank you for your talking points, Beto. Why don't you get on your skateboard and continue to pretend that you can relate to everybody. Blah, blah, blah. This is how people get elected. This is why Donald Trump is in office. Because a bunch of idiots are like, yeah, I believe that guy. And just like Beto O'Rourke says his bullshit, a bunch of idiots are like, yeah, I believe that guy. How about you do this? How about you do your own fucking research? How about you realize that all politicians are corrupt and they don't give a fuck about anyone that doesn't own $1 billion, that makes $1 billion a year, or that is on their payroll, or that they have to pay off, or that is part of their scam. At that level, these politicians only care about their future, the security of their families, just like you and everyone else. Now, if we all didn't have to opt into this fake society where position and prestige and all that bullshit came into play, we would actually be doing the best for ourselves and our families each and every day. We would be doing the best for humanity each and every day. We would be increasing and advancing science each and every day from a multidisciplinary approach. We would be culling the bullshit and we would be incorporating the new shit. But that never happens. It takes decades for ideas that are already ingrained, like the electric universe, to take hold. I'm going to be dead before that happens. But I'm going to die knowing the facts that I know how the universe works before the mainstream admitted it. Now, what is the purpose of that? There is no purpose. Because what it shows us is that there are billions of people being taught nonsense information at the cost of humanity, because these people are now brainwashed with bad information, which makes bad scientists, makes indoctrinated societies, which keeps us compliant and makes us the sheep that we are. And Beto O'Rourke is just pretending to be a socialite and a Hollywood star, and he can relate to the youth, and he's mimicking climate change, and he's bloviating any bullshit that's a meme that he has heard that's going to get him a vote. You know who doesn't do that? David Schlotthauer. He's creating weather videos and discussions and lectures. And when I met him, he had 1,000 subscribers. Now he has about 20,000. And he only has 4 patrons. If you watch his channel and you donate to me, I want you to cancel your donation to me and donate to David. Why? Because I think that it's embarrassing he only has 4 patrons. the information that he shares every single night, and the time he spends while he has a full-time job is insane. And why so few people appreciate him is even more insane. So if you donate to me and you don't donate to David, cancel your subscription to our channel and go donate over here to someone who deserves it and needs it more than I do. And tell him I said to do it. And for all you people that are so scared that the UAH data is now higher than it was before, did you even look at this graph? Did you notice that every year the temperature goes up and down a whole degree centigrade? On average, a half a degree. Up and down, up and down, and up and down, and up and down, and up and down, up and down, and 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 up and down. And now you think it went up 0.4 degrees above the baseline, that represents global warming? It's the same temperature as it was in 1986. Same temperature in 1998. Same temperature in 2006. Same temperature in 2012. Is the same temperature right now. Which is 0.5 degrees cooler than it was back in 2016. So this red line shows a smooth trend. And that's going down. It's not going up. But every now and again it comes back up. And after it comes up, look what happens. It goes straight down. Look at what happened when it came up here. Straight down. Came up here. Straight down. Came up here. Straight down. Up here. Straight down. Go get your panties in a bunch. Get your facts in a row. We love each and every one of you. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. LeakCon is in about this many days, plus a toe. Are you getting the live stream? Have you gone to preparewiththeranch.com? Preparewiththeranch.com. Do I have to type it in here in the dark? Preparewiththeranch.com. It's boom time. They made this website for us, and you need to buy shit here. Or we're frauds. Remember how cheap the heirloom seeds were? Free shipping over 100. Do it now. Best prices on water filters I've ever seen. And how about the seeds? Guaranteed to store for 5 years. But I guarantee if you plant these babies, you'll be able to save enough seeds to store for 50 years. $0.97 a pack. If I could smoke it, I'd pack that up. We love each and every one of you. Be safe. Subscribe to the channel. Share this with like-minded people. We love you.